Some of the most famous buildings in the world are hiding something. Not behind locked doors, not guarded by security, but hidden behind walls, beneath trapdoors, and even under the feet of thousands of people passing by every single day, completely unaware of what's below them. Today, we're uncovering 5 of the most extraordinary secret rooms ever discovered inside famous buildings, and trust me, some of them were never meant to be found. Number 5. The Cold War Bomb Shelter, New York City. Back in 2006, workers from New York's Department of Transportation were doing a routine inspection of the Brooklyn Bridge. Nothing unusual, just another structural check. But then, inside the Manhattan anchorage, the massive stone base where the bridge cables meet land, they opened a door. And behind it, they found a room. A room no one had entered in nearly 50 years. Inside, everything was still there. Boxes of blankets, metal drums filled with water, medical supplies, some of them including a drug called Dextran, used to treat shock. And then there were the food supplies, over 350,000 survival crackers, sealed inside watertight metal containers. Amazingly, many of them were still considered edible. Every single box carried the same chilling label, for use only after enemy attack. The dates stamped on those supplies told the real story. 1957, the year Sputnik was launched. 1962, the Cuban Missile Crisis. 2 moments when nuclear war didn't feel hypothetical, it felt possible. Someone had prepared this shelter during the height of Cold War fear, sealed it up, and never came back. What makes this shelter even stranger is that no one knew it existed. Not the public, not most city officials, not even inspectors who had passed by that same door for years. And all this time, above it, the Brooklyn Bridge remained one of the busiest landmarks in the world. Every day, tens of thousands of people walk or drive across it, completely unaware that beneath their feet sits a hidden stockpile, ready for a war that never happened. Number 4. Benjamin Franklin's basement, London. In December 1997, workers were renovating a historic townhouse near Trafalgar Square. They were turning it into a museum. Then one of them made a disturbing discovery. A human thigh bone, sticking out of the ground. Police were called. Excavations began. By the end of it, over 1,200 bone fragments had been uncovered, belonging to at least 15 individuals, including children. At first glance, it looked like a crime scene. But it wasn't. The bones told a different story. Skulls with drilled holes. Limbs cut in precise ways. Marks that clearly showed surgical practice. This wasn't murder. This was science. The house turned out to be the former London residence of Benjamin Franklin, who lived there for nearly 20 years in the 1700s. So what happened? Franklin's landlady's son-in-law was a young anatomist named William Hewson. He was brilliant and ahead of his time. But there was a problem. In 18th century London, studying human anatomy was mostly illegal. The only bodies legally available were those of executed criminals, and there weren't many. So Hewson did what others quietly did back then. He ran a secret anatomy school in the basement. Bodies were likely obtained through grave robbers, or unofficial deals. And when he finished his work, he buried the remains in the garden to avoid being caught. And yes, Franklin almost certainly knew. The evidence shows years of careful, systematic study, not a one-time event. These weren't random bones. They were part of early medical research that helped expand understanding of the human body. For over 200 years, the remains stayed hidden underground, until one shovel-hit bone in 1997. Today, some of those remains are displayed in the museum. Silent proof of the strange and secret science that once happened beneath Franklin's home. Number 3. The Secret Platform, New York City. Deep beneath one of New York's most famous hotels lies something almost no one knows exists. A private underground train platform. Known as Track 61, it connects directly to Grand Central Terminal, but it was never meant for the public. It was built in 1931 alongside the Waldorf Astoria Hotel. The purpose? To allow VIP guests to arrive completely unseen. And one man used it more than anyone else. President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt had been paralyzed from the waist down due to polio. But at the time, his condition was carefully hidden from the public. Photos of him in a wheelchair were extremely rare. The press largely avoided showing it. So when he visited New York, he couldn't be seen arriving like everyone else. Instead, his train would pull into track 61. His armored car would be brought onto the platform. He and the vehicle would then be lifted by a freight elevator directly into the hotel garage. From there, he entered privately and took an elevator to his suite. The entire process happened underground, completely out of sight. This level of secrecy wasn't just occasional, it was constant. Every public appearance, every photograph, every movement was carefully controlled to maintain the image of strength. Roosevelt went on to serve 4 terms as president, the only U.S. president to ever do so. All while hiding a condition the public rarely saw. Even today, Track 61 still exists beneath the city, hidden in plain sight, just like it always was. Number 2, the Underground Lake, Paris. Beneath one of the most famous opera houses in the world, there's a lake. Not decorative, not accidental, a real, underground reservoir of dark, still water. It sits about 10 meters below the stage and covers a large portion of the building's lowest level. Firefighters even use it to train in complete darkness. There's reportedly a massive pale catfish living in it, fed by staff. And here's the strange part. If you drain the water, the building above starts to shift. This lake exists because of a construction problem. When the opera house was being built in the 1800s, workers hid an underground water source that wouldn't stop flooding the site. Pumps ran constantly, but it was useless. So instead of fighting the water, the architect built around it. He designed a massive underground cistern to stabilize the structure. It worked, and became essential to keeping the building standing. This hidden lake later inspired the Phantom of the Opera. And unlike the Phantom himself, the lake is completely real. It still sits there today, beneath one of the grandest stages in the world, dark, silent, and necessary. Number 1. Michelangelo's Secret Room. In 1975, a museum worker in Florence noticed something unusual behind a wardrobe. He moved it aside. Behind it, a hidden trapdoor. It led down into a small, sealed room that had been forgotten for decades. When experts removed layers of plaster from the walls, they found something extraordinary. Drawings, dozens of them, sketches of human bodies, faces, muscles, limbs, all done with incredible skill. They were almost certainly created by Michelangelo. The story goes back to 1530. At the time, Michelangelo had angered the powerful Medici family by supporting a political revolt. When the Medici returned to power, he was marked for death. So he went into hiding, right beneath the very chapel he had been working on. He stayed in that small room for about 2 months. And while hiding, he drew. On the walls, in charcoal and chalk, the sketches show connections to his known works, figures, poses, and styles that match his masterpieces. For nearly 450 years, the room remained hidden, sealed, forgotten, until that wardrobe was moved. Today, the room is open, but only barely. Just a few visitors per week are allowed inside for a short time, to protect the fragile drawings. And those who enter describe it as unforgettable. A small, dark room, covered in the private work of one of the greatest artists in history. Created while he was hiding for his life.